gorgeous. I'm the Fairy Voice Mother, and welcome to today's video. The first video in many long weeks. So many suns have set and moons risen since I saw you last, and it pains me, and I'm sorry. I've been working on something humongous, but that doesn't matter right now. All that matters is that we are together enjoying this musical work of Wing. I think this is an original beatbox composition, and I love these. It's come very highly recommended, not to mention it has really taken off. If this is our first time meeting, then welcome, gorgeous! Get yourself settled in with a nice little cozy drink and a blanket, because we're about to get nerdy about voices. My name's Lolli, I'm a vocal teacher and voice anatomy enthusiast, and I like to break down sounds within an inch of their lives. Beatboxing videos are always a challenge in that realm because they push their anatomy to the furthest corners of vocal brilliance. But I'm gonna try. Let's go. That was voluminous. Turn you down a little bit there, young man. Jesus wept. Nice. Although that was mostly trumpety, it's got the allure of a brass section, and that is because although we heard this note produced by his actual vocal folds to make the most prominent trumpet, he's producing this one as well. This tension that he's bringing into the lips like this is making the air pressure build and therefore vibrate the false vocal folds in the throat. But God, it's so well controlled, and how we controlled the dynamics. Well, in order to get this kind of swell, this crescendo, what we would call in singing, what do we call it in singing? Messa di voce, which is keeping the same tone and increasing the volume only. We have to make sure that we commit to the exact same vocal timbre from the most quiet point to the loudest point. You have to be very aware of making sure the note is reinforced in terms of it can't be a very, very weak falsetto, because if you start like this, it's going to crack as you increase the intensity. So the way that you do it, the trick is to keep a strong voice from the very beginning to avoid that cracking. But what makes this even more special is the accent that he does on the start to really, really emulate how a brass instrument would begin. You hear it kind of opens and shuts, and then it blows everyone's mind across the land.
The brain's motivation neurotransmitter, dopamine.
Cool. Wow.
Dopamine.
It's so clean. The sounds and the textures are so isolated and defined. It's just so impeccably impeccable. So if we're puffing away like this, but then modulate our larynx position like this, the perceived pitch is up and down. All the while, the pitch of that melodic motif stays the same. By just modifying the formant of the air and not the pitch, it looks like we've isolated that frequency and pulled it along. I'll show you exactly what I mean here. Just found this little vocal stem from a demo I made recently. And now, the hissiness of the breath that will naturally occur in this, let's see when we can pick it up. here's the breath. And so now if we start to drag that up, what we're going to do is amplify more of that breath, because the breath is living in this sort of frequency range, starting here at 1.5. And he's doing all of that while simultaneously adding a 4 on the floor sort of clap. We can hear like a mouthful multitasking to its limits, I think, probably. He'll probably prove me wrong later and do something even more weird and crazy. It's just so cool.
Dopamine.
Hey! Oh!
Dopamine now. Can you feel it now?
I think so. Okay, so drop's coming. I can't handle it yet. All right, so why? What on earth was this? The pitch of the notes is absolutely outstanding. Would it be possible to tune this in post-production? Yes, but it's not obvious to me that that's been done. I don't know. So this same melodic motif that we've just had muted, we've now got it in like a whole new way, is now being splayed across 2 octaves. And then between this jump of that melodic riff, I think the first sound he does is a chest bass, a vocalized chest bass. But the second time he does it with this inward lip roll, also creating this pitch. That is just sheer air management rustling through vocal tissue. It's so amazing. The airy stuff is so miraculous for loads of reasons, but one of them being is that when all of that airy stuff stops, the moment he does his basses, it really highlights those basses. And it just takes us out of the noise for a second. And it's just, it's very, very beautifully done. I love that one. It's quite quacky. I think it's probably a rattle of the epiglottis against the soft palate. Wow, I feel so rattled inside. Rattle me inside.
Check it.
Nice. Oh, it's so snappy. Oh, that lip roll. Oh, gosh.
Dopamine.
God, it's so clean. It's very obvious at the end that that increase of volume that we hear in that riser is not done post-production. It's just more hiss of breath. Because doesn't increase in volume. It's just that hiss. So it couldn't have been done in post unless they've separated the breath from the sound and just... But I don't think they would have done. The more he amplifies frequencies inside his mouth, basically above 5,000 hertz, the louder we perceive it, but it isn't necessarily louder. This could get very nerdy. I'm going to leave that there and we can talk about acoustics another time. But just so you know, in my opinion, this is totally legit and there hasn't been too much fiddling. I would be very, very surprised if there had. The accuracy of those notes in those two different realms. Two such separate realms, not only in terms of pitch, but in terms of feeling. There are a bunch of things at play with this one that makes it so spectacular. First thing is the power of the laryngeal drop. So from going, you can touch your own larynx at home and feel that happen. Combined with the false fold activation as well, giving it that throaty bass effect. Combined with the of the tongue. Combined with the fact that it is completely novel. We haven't had anything remotely like this at all so far. That kind of descending scale, nothing of the sort. We're like, wow! And then just where we're trying to recover, he brings us back up from meow to meow. And that was a beautiful feature. It was like a surprise the first time, and then the second time it was just a sheer delight. So classy, so snappy and so accurate while keeping such amazing rhythm. Oh my god, that's another thing I haven't even considered. Like, he's staying in tempo so perfectly and in tune, and everything's so clean. It's really masterful. I'm sure there's been a lot of discipline involved in him perfecting these sounds. It's not just the huge range of sounds he has access to, which he absolutely bloody well does. It's how clean and perfect in every way that they're produced. It's really outstanding. He's so cool and composed in his leather jacket, just sort of eyes front. He has an absolutely spellbinding presence. He's not getting emotional. This is just his day-to-day. And I'm so enthused that this has had so many views in such a short amount of time. It's amazing news for the beatboxing community that a performance can get so much traction so quickly. And for music in general, many of us are appreciating Mouth Unicorns this way. And I'm very glad to be an ambassador for Mouth Unicorn appreciation. So thank you. Let me read you today's oracle card. Today, you gorgeous human, we have the savage cabbage. Sometimes you need a telling off from the cabbage. What's going on in your shit show of a life right now? Firstly, launch self-care protocol. Organise, plan. Be gentle with yourself. Ask for support. Prioritise changes that need to be put into place to bring joy and peace. Make space for laughter. Reignite your passions and exude love. Thank you so much for hanging out with me today and doing a deep nerdaroo on Wing. I hope you've enjoyed this video as much as I've enjoyed making it. Any suggestions you might have for singers, beatboxers, any music of any kind that you'd like to see me react to and break down, please do let me know down below in the comments or message me over on Patreon. If you'd like to have a little look at my new album, the link is in the description. But if not, that's totally fine. If you're here at the premiere, please accept this giant premiere hug. And for any of you that are watching this at any other time, here is a giant hug for you. Have a beautiful day. I love you bunches. And I cannot wait to see you again in the next video. I hope it won't be too long until the next one this time. Bye! Teacher and vocal science and anatomy enthusiast, as in like vocal anatomy enthusiast, not just anatomy specifically of neck up. Anyway, worst case scenario, we have a lovely musical time together. What was I saying? Oh, cracky, that was close. I do love a big larynx. I'd be lying if I said I didn't. Okay, we can continue now. Whatever. Hello.